sadly, even charities can fall into the trap of using acronyms and slogans and stuff, just like the NHS. It actually stands for Action Against Medical Accidents. And I'm going to say a few words about how we might be able to work together. First of all, what are we? Well, first thing to know about us is that we're completely independent. We are a patient-centred charity. We cover the whole of the UK. Our mission in life, we sum up as simply as we stand for patient safety and justice. And we mean justice in the widest sense. Basic things such as knowing when something's gone wrong, knowing the circumstances of why and how something's gone wrong, as well as getting answers, getting actions, getting things put right, if they can be. We provide, at the core of the charity, our public-facing side is independent advice and support to people who've been affected by things going wrong. And the main way we do that is through what we call our national helpline and an individual casework service. I'll be speaking a bit more how we provide help to individuals, and I may have a chance to speak to some of you if you need to speak to me during the course of the day. And we deal with about 4,000 inquiries a year, which is a lot. People often ask me, is that going up? Are things getting worse, getting better? The 4,000 stays more or less constant. That's not because the rate of things going wrong is constant or getting better or worse, it's because that's all we can cope with. And it is just the tip of the iceberg, of course, of the number of instances of things going wrong every year and causing harm in the NHS. But we also believe in partnership. It's not an us and them. We're not against doctors, we're not against nurses, we're not against NHS managers. We love the NHS and we are partners with the health professions more than anyone else. The vast majority of those health professionals want the same very things that we want, which is namely good quality, patient safety, and doing the right thing when something does happen to go wrong to all parties. And we also work in partnership with not only individual patients who've been affected by things going wrong, but patients groups. We're proud and humbled to have been associated with Cure the NHS, an absolute model of a self-help group and a campaign group. Even though we're a national charity, there's no way we could have had the effect that Cure the NHS has had, because it's grounded on local, real experience with local people banding together. What we perhaps can do is contribute and support what local people like you do on the ground, but we can't do it for you, and nor would we want to take over the role of local campaigners. We also are proud to work with lawyers. Lawyers have an important role in this, as well as health professions, to ensure that we have the right procedures, the right processes to get access to justice and fairness for people at the end of the day. And whilst every charity prides itself on the direct support we provide to people, we're able to provide, I hope, some useful support to 4,000 odd people a year. Another one of my loves in the charity world is Oxfam. And although Oxfam does some great work supporting individual people, it achieves far more for many hundreds of thousands or millions of people if it gets a modest change in government policy. Therefore, a big emphasis in our work is also the policy work, the campaigning, to get rules, to get procedures changed, because that can benefit everybody. So that's a big issue for us. Right, a bit more about how we help individuals. We have a helpline, it's an 0845 number, so it can be contacted from anywhere in the country at a local rate for a call. And that deals with inquiries of all sorts about things going wrong. Often when something's gone wrong, of course, people are completely at sea, don't know where to turn to. Who can give them some advice about what to be thinking about, what their rights are, what the procedures are that can be followed, and what are the implications of following those procedures. And that helpline is staffed by a mixture of our trained specialist caseworkers, some of them nurses, some of them lawyers, some of them due qualified, and we also get secondees in from law firms who work for us. They take away their commercial hat. When they're seconded to us, they're working as volunteers for us to our rules and procedures. It can be busy, this helpline. We can only deal with what we can deal with the resources we have. So when people come through, sometimes they have to phone more than once to actually make a connection, but they will eventually get through. Of course, we also have an individual casework service where we provide more intensive support. Now, this is where our caseworkers, and some of you in the room, particularly from Stafford, where we've been concentrating some of our work, as Julie said, around independent case note reviews and indeed inquests, will have met some of our caseworkers, Louise, Stephen, or Lisa, who have been coming up and giving one-to-one support to families and people going through those processes, either inquests or the independent case note reviews, connected with the so-called independent inquiry of Robert Francis around Stafford. And we also, in that casework, we specialise around the areas where people find it hard to get support and appropriate advice and representation from other people, such as lawyers. Now, if it's something like a straightforward claim for compensation and there's a strong case, there will be no difficulty